Okay, 10:30, you guys. Good morning. So welcome to this morning's class. This morning we're going to do a little bit of a different variation of what we did last week. Last week was more of a pure yin class, and this morning we're going to call it a restorative class, but really there will be just a few standing poses, maybe a little bit of downward facing dog, no chaturangas. And if there's anything that you want to skip, you know, if you don't want to do downward facing dog, feel free to just go into child's pose at any time you like. I mean, you know the gig, you guys. You guys are yogis, and just I want you to do what feels comfortable to you and what feels luscious in your bodies, okay? So I hope everybody is doing well today. I don't know how you all are holding up. I know for me, it's kind of a ride, and it's an interesting ride. So I'm watching myself a lot, and I'm learning a lot about myself. Sorry, just letting people come into class. Hi, Beth. Hi, Daniela. And there we go. I'm sure you guys are on a ride too. How could we not be? So just pay attention, because there is so much growth in this process. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm not talking about growth like learning that you can put eyebrow powder on your roots, or, I mean, that's growth too. But anyways, just watch yourself, just lean in. Like I said last week, don't be hard on yourself. If you feel like you're dipping, or you feel like you can't get out of bed for a day, just allow. That is what this process is about, right? We want to learn that in this experience, and we want to learn how to take that off of our mat and weave it into our lives to go with the flow. This is what really our yoga is all about. So if you haven't already gotten some supplies, I'd love you to get either a block, or if you don't have a block, get 2 books, stack them on top of each other to use as a block, a thick blanket or a bolster that we can use, but that we can use to lift up our hips when we're laying down, and also some other sort of padding for the knees if you need that, and a strap if you have it, but not necessary at all. And in the meantime, go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seated position. So I'm a big fan of when I'm sitting up, I like to raise up my hips a little bit, sit on something a little taller. That takes the pressure off of the knees, and we want to take pressure off of any part of the body that we're able to. So we're going to take a moment just to settle in, give you a minute or two to get your supplies, put them nearby. Also, I know that Kelly sent a link to a playlist, and everybody is muted. Make sure that you keep yourself muted. And therefore, if you want to play the playlist in the background, that's perfect. It's great, you know. And again, always permission to let your own body be your guide. This morning is going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say of an active class, but not a pure yin. We are going to do a little bit of some standing poses, not much flow, but a little bit different than last week. So find a comfortable seated position. Let your shoulders roll up, back, and down. Close your eyes. Take a moment to settle into your bodies. Again, if you feel that you want extra grounding today, place your hands palm down on your knees. And if you want some inspiration, messages, maybe from a higher realm, keeping it lighter, turn your palms up. And we're going to start today's class by doing a brief internal walkthrough in our bodies, allowing us to just explore where we're at in this moment, where we're at in our physicality, where we're at in our minds and our emotions and our thoughts. So with eyes closed, turn your vision inward, starting from a physical level by viewing internally the top of the head, allowing yourself to breathe as you travel your attention downward into the face and the jaw, continuing your attention turning downward throughout the body. And when you feel an area of tension or tightness, stop in that space for a moment and send in a warm, maybe colorful breath. Color your breath, your favorite color. Continue journeying, exploring, inquiring how you're feeling throughout your body physically today. No judgment. Only trying to shift things through the breath. Nice, smooth, even, deep breath. Continue the travels, chest, the upper belly, diaphragm, softening through the breath, lower belly, down to the hips. And just allow a softening to occur. And once you have smoothed out your own body, your physical body through your breath, I'm going to ask you to question yourself on where you are today in your mind. Every day is different. Many moments are different. Where are you right now? If there's anything that you're holding on to, any thoughts that are keeping you from being fully present in this practice, I'm just going to ask you to turn those thoughts into a sentence. Like, I'm feeling stressed about what I saw on the news or anything like that. And simply watch, like a ticker tape, the thought, the sentence just float up and out, off to the right. Keep your eyes closed. A few more breaths. Keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and bring your hands to prayer right at the center of your chest. Turning your chin slightly down towards the chest. And just asking yourself what your desire is for your practice today, your intention for yourself in this practice. What do you want? What do you need? And then release your hands, flutter your eyes open, and take your gaze up. Good. So I want to take one more moment just to let you know that even though I can't see each of you, I'm going to take one more second to visualize my heart connecting with each of yours, because that is so important to me, and I'm sure it feels good to you too. We are all in this together. So just one more moment, sending my heart connection to you and drawing yours back into me. I am so grateful for you guys, so grateful to be able to do this. Okay, and you made me put makeup on, so that's good. Bonus. All right, starting in our seated position, which we're already in, feel free to stay on the raising of the hips. You're completely fine there. And then we're going to just give the shoulders a roll up to the ears and all the way back and down. And maybe one or two more times. Shoulders up, back and down. And one more. Shoulders up, back and down. And then walking your hands behind you, flattening your palms, feeling a nice stretch in the palms and the wrists. I want you to roll the shoulders back, down, and down again. And then lift the chest and drop the head back. Opening up the neck area, asking for yourself to be able to honor your truth, whether you speak it or not, permission to feel how you feel. One more big heart opening breath and release. Good. So I'm mirroring you today, you guys. When I call out right, I'll be using my left, but just use me as your mirror and inhale your arms out and up. And then taking your right hand behind your left, we're going to do eagle arms. So just crossing right at the elbows. And if you have the ability to find palms pressed together, great. If not, if there's separation, that's fine too. What we're working on is a spreading through the upper back. And I want you to roll the shoulders down. Take a nice inhale, lifting up. And on the exhale, just forward fold. Make sure that the shoulders are not drawing up to the ears. We're stretching open the upper back and allowing ourselves to create some space in the scapula area. Just keep folded forward. Even if I lift up, you go ahead and follow my words more than my movements. Give yourself 3 more deep breaths here. Feeling the opening particularly happening on the inhalation. And then again, we're always going to use the exhalation to settle in. It's like the exhalation, we're going, I commit, I am leaning in, I am good with whatever happens until we inhale again. One more breath. One more forward breath, eagle arms. Allow an inhale to raise the body up. Release the arms out to the side. Just go ahead and do a nice circle with the arms once or twice, just oiling up the joints. And then we're taking it the other way, where the left hand goes behind the right. We see if we can catch some sort of a bind here. We inhale, lift up the chest, take the gaze up, and exhale, forward fold. Breathing, allowing some of the tension that possibly is building up during this crazy, crazy time we're in, we're inviting it to get the hell out of our bodies. Just get out. Breathe, open. Inhale, opening. Exhale, receiving and accepting. One more breath. Let a full breath out and inhale, raise yourself back up. Open up your arms. And one more circle of the arms the other way. And that's it. Go ahead and shake it out. Moving into a twist to our right hand side. Taking your left arm up and over onto that right knee. Your right hand behind you. Inhaling, lifting nice and tall. And exhaling, looking over that right shoulder. 5 breaths here. Inhaling, lifting through the crown of the head. And exhaling, twisting a little further. Being mindful of your neck. If this does not suit your neck and it hurts in any way, just bring your neck to neutral. Kind of evening out the ears with the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, twisting. 1 more breath. And then without releasing the bind, just go ahead and look over your left shoulder for a moment, just giving your neck a little stretch on the right side and then releasing out of it. Kind of shimmy and shake it out. Just do a little shimmy shake and we'll take it the other way. That right arm lifts, crosses over to the left knee, left arm behind you. Inhale, lift up everything. Exhale, twisting over to the left. Inhaling, lifting through the crown. Exhaling, twisting a little further. Closing your eyes and inhaling, becoming taller. And exhaling, even if the body doesn't go further, twisting energetically the internal organs a bit. And 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and let it go. Looking over the right shoulder, bringing everything to neutral and releasing out of it. Good. So opening up the legs for a wide-legged forward fold in a seated position. So I did this with you guys last week, if you joined, and I want you to take any supplies that you need. I'm taking everything. I said that before. I take everything. I stack it as tall as I can, opening up my legs, pressing the hips forward a bit. Remember, you don't have to support yourself onto anything. Dangling in the middle is just fine. And for those of you that are able to flatten forward, that's fantastic if you're nice and loose on the inner thighs. But remember, we're looking for the sensation. We're always looking for the sensation in this practice, but not in a violent way. We're looking for the sensation because that's where the growth comes, okay? So that's with everything, you guys. We look for the sensation, we lean into it, we breathe, we settle in, and we receive. Inhale up if you haven't already, and exhale, forward fold. This is going to be a little bit of a longer hold. So this one I'm going to time out for a minute. And I want you to close your eyes. I'm inviting you to close your eyes and inviting you to just breathe. Allowing yourself to find some entertainment in the breath, right? If there's one thing that this experience has maybe shown you, I know it has for me, it's that I'm kind of much more easily entertained than I realized. So take time and take your breath and play with it. Count out your inhalation. Hold the breath at the top. And allow yourself to elongate the exhalation. Take a moment to notice where you're feeling the sensation in your bodies. I'm definitely feeling a huge stretch in the inner thighs. And I'm noticing that there's always a little bit of a holdback, a little bit of a resistance. And I'm going to really, really challenge myself to relax and soften everything, especially on the exhalation. So preparing on the inhalation and receiving and softening on the exhalation. You have about 20 seconds left. And allow yourself to come on up, you guys. Perfect. Good. Shoulders back and down. Remove your supplies over to the side. Shimmy your legs back together. Okay. And okay. Daniela, I see that you raised a hand, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to answer you. Is everything okay? Okay. All right, moving on, you guys. We are going to come on to all fours. So if you didn't hear this in the beginning of class, because maybe you weren't on yet, today's class, we are going to do a few standing poses. Okay, great. Thank you, Danielle. I see the thumbs up. And then we'll do some longer holds. So it's a little bit of a blended class. Watch out, Lily. Watch out. Okay, coming on to all fours. Find some padding for your knees if you feel that you need it. And then spread through the fingers. Spreading through the fingers, starting with a cow stretch. So we're inhaling, taking the gaze up, dropping the bellies down, arching through the lower back. Feel free to flex the feet. And I want to ask you to stay here for one full breath. Nice big inhale. And then on the exhale, rounding into cat stretch, but lingering a little longer. So not flowing with the breath, holding for a breath or two here, spreading through the complete back One more breath. And then flowing with your own breath, using the inhalation to take you into a cow stretch and the exhalation to lift you into cat. 4 more times. Inhaling into cow, exhaling, following your own pace and your own breath. If something feels better to you, you want to linger somewhere, always you have permission to do that. Keep on going. Good, 1 or 2 more breaths. And then stopping right there in the middle, in neutral. We're going to do very slow circles over to the right. So we're dropping a hip over to the right, sinking back towards the heels, and over to the left. Again, over to the right, sinking back to the heels, over to the left. 2 more times, over to the right. Oh, it feels so good, you guys. I hope it feels as good to you as it does to me. And 1 more. I think I said 2 more, so 1 more. And then back to center, and then over to the left. Noticing how you feel the stretch, always having permission to stop where you need for your expansion. Change it up and breathe. And 2 more. Hi, Beth. And 1 more. All the way. Excellent, you guys. Coming into a neutral position. So this is where we're going to go off the rails a little bit in class. We're going to do a little bit of downward dog. I think it'll feel good. You can always avoid this and just stay in child's pose, but otherwise I want you to send the right leg behind you. Place the foot down on the floor, moving into a foot stretch, just allowing the toes to make contact with the floor, sending the energy back to the heel. So it's almost like a runner stretch in a kneeling down position, just breathing, feeling a stretch in the Achilles, the calf, and then bringing the right leg back in. Sending the left leg back, flexing through the toes, feel the stretch in the toes, and then as you press back towards the heel, that sensation will move to the calf maybe a little bit. And then keeping the left foot right here, I'm going to ask you to send the right foot back and find yourself in your plank position. Just taking a moment in plank, a nice big inhale, and then lifting up the hips for your downward facing dog. Make your adjustments, find your proper downward facing dog, and then no structure here, you guys. I just want you to pedal out your feet, bend your knees, do what feels good, and remember that if you don't choose to do your downward facing dog, you can stay on all fours or you can drop into child's pose. We won't be here long, but otherwise, I invite you for a moment to bend both knees, lift your hips really high, and press away from the front of your mat, dropping your chin to your chest and shaking out your head a little bit, getting all the tension out of the neck, and then straightening back into your heels. Take 3 more breaths here. For those of you who are not in downward facing dog, I'm going to give you a little hint that I'm going to ask you to find your way to a standing position at the back of your mat. And for those of you who are joining with me in this motion, go ahead and start to soften the knees and walk your hands back towards your feet at the back of the mat. And then staying in a forward fold, bend your knees, find elbow to elbow, and just drape the torso over the thighs. And stay in your forward fold, allowing yourself to just feel the tension drip through the crown of the head. Feeling the stretch through the spine. And then as you straighten into the legs, feeling a stretch all the way up the back of the legs.
Shaking all of the tension out. Go ahead and heel toe your feet a little bit further apart. They're still on the inside edges of your mat, parallel. Take a deep bend in the right knee and raise the left arm up, facing the palm towards the left edge of your mat for a twist. If this doesn't feel good, feel free to bring the hand behind your back, and stack your shoulders. 2 more breaths. Good. Using an inhale to float the arm down and straighten that right leg, and then bending the left knee. Exhale and inhale the right arm up. Same thing on the other side. Right arm extends up towards the sky. Palm is facing the outer right edge of your mat. Always freedom to open up a little bit more by bringing the hand behind your back. 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale the arm up. Exhale, float the hand down. Go ahead and straighten the legs. Heel toe your feet together. Tuck your chin to your chest. Close your eyes and slowly bring yourself up to standing. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you get up to the top, inhale the shoulders up to the ears and exhale the shoulders back and down. So standing in your Tadasana, that's where you're at. Palms are faced forward, belly is in, tailbone is down. We're lifting again through the crown of the head. I'd like you to close your eyes here. So this is like a still power pose, right? I want you to ask yourself, how can you find your power in this situation, what we're all going through? How can you stand firm on your feet, breathe a little taller, grow yourself, and allow yourself to expand through this crazy experience? Strong, solid, knowing we can do this, you guys. And then open up your eyes, release out of it, shake out, and turn yourself around. So just go ahead and turn around. So now you're facing the front of the mat, or you can walk over to the other side, whatever you want, and moving into a few standing poses before we slow it down completely and really move into full yin. So placing your hands on your hips for a minute, I want you to get light on that right foot. And then lifting up the right knee, using this as our balancing pose. Maybe you even hold the knee into the chest for a moment, dropping the shoulders down, putting a nice flex in that right foot. Challenging yourself to balance. And then releasing the arms out to the side. We're going to step the right foot gently back and bend the knee and find a little bit of a lunge. Bringing your hands onto your hips, drawing the shoulders back. Sink a little further down into that left leg and just lift up the chest and the head, feeling the spread in the front hip of that right leg. 2 more breaths. Good. Bringing the gaze forward to neutral, raising the right arm up. We're finding warrior 2 on the left side. That left leg is forward. Left arm forward, warrior 2 on the left. 5 deep breaths in your warrior 2. Softening the shoulders down, not leaning forward or back, dropping right in the middle. Nice, steady, smooth, deep, expansive breath. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. Flipping up that left hand, finding your reverse warrior. Opening up the left side of the body. Giving it 3 breaths here. 2 more. Good. Inhale the arms up.
Straighten the front leg, and sometimes it feels good to step that back foot up a little bit, moving into triangle. Taking a 5-breath triangle hold. Feel free to take a block if you need to raise the floor up to you at all. This should not be like a strong effort. It's just a releasing and a leaning in. Beautiful stretch for that left inner thigh. 5 breaths. Remember, if your neck ever bothers you in this position, you take the gaze neutral or even down. And release out of it. Good. Come on up. We're turning the body forward for a little bit of a wide-legged forward fold. Inhaling the arms out and up. Hands through prayer. Slight bend in the knees. Place the palms down and straighten into the legs. Turning the toes towards each other and the heels out. And then walking your hands in front of you off from your mat, pressing back into your heels for a wide-legged downward facing dog. Shoulders release away from the ears. Beautiful stretch for the shins. 3 deep breaths. Good. Start to walk the hands back to center. Allow yourself a moment or two in a forward fold here. Feel free to take your peace sign fingers, holding onto the inside of the big toes and bending at the elbows. Give yourself some assistance. And place the hands down. You're going to walk yourself over to the right. So now you're finding your way to the other side of the mat. Bending the right knee, keeping that left heel up. You can crawl your way up to our lunge, all the way out and up. Again, hands can be on the hips, up in the sky, behind the head, behind you like wings. 2 more breaths. My heart rate's up, you guys. I hope you don't mind that we veered off a little bit this morning. I'm going to ask for feedback. Before we leave class together, I'm going to give you my email so you can tell me your thoughts, your feelings, or whatever you need. Okay, turn the left heel down. Bring your arms out. Find your warrior 2 on the right-hand side. 5 deep breaths. Nice big inhale. Exhale, softening in. Close your eyes if you want or need. Just be with yourself. 3 more breaths. Good. Open up your eyes if they're closed. I'm going to straighten my right leg for a minute because it's cramping a bit. Feel free to do that too. In fact, if you want to start your reverse warrior this way, feel free. Leaning it back and then bending. 5 breaths in your reverse warrior. Breathe loudly to yourselves, you guys. Open up, enjoy. We want to get all of the tension out of our bodies. Good. Come on back up when you're ready. Straightening that front leg, hinging from the waist and reaching. Remember, feel free to use a block here for your triangle pose. So focusing on the area that you're feeling the sensation and watching the story that you're telling yourself about that. Like we can say like, ah, ooh, ee, ah, and complain our way through it. Or we can go like, yum, this feels great. Yes, I feel it, but wow, look at how I am allowing the expansion, allowing the stretch. And good, come on back up through warrior 2. Turn the body forward, turn the back leg up. We're just coming down gracefully, bending the left knee, bringing the right leg back. Excellent, you guys. So you can take a moment here if you want and do some dancing lion, some cat cows, and we'll move into more of our true yin portion of the class. Okay? Good. Just take a moment. Let your body wiggle out the kinks. I'm placing the blanket under my knees again, moving into child's pose. So opening up my knees out to the edges of the mat, sinking back to the heels, extending my arms and my palms down, and child's pose. So this is going to be about a 2-minute hold. And allow yourself to enjoy your child's pose. So again, we can be really creative in our practice. And by creativity, I mean, what are we choosing to think about? Where are we putting our attention, our focus? Dog. Okay. So that being said, you can focus on your breath. You can play with the depth and the quality, the lusciousness of your breath. You can bring your awareness to your body and what you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling a stretching in the knees and the quads. Maybe you're noticing as you soften the breath, how your body gets the message that it's safe, and you give it permission to really, really open up and lean in just a little bit more. You have less than a minute left. And then third place that you can focus your attention is on your mind and your thinking mind. And notice how what you think about makes you feel. Recognizing the power in sending our thoughts to the most valuable places for us. And sometimes that means allowing yourself to feel sad. You know, we don't have to unnaturally push ourselves in a direction if we're not there yet. Sometimes you just have to stay where you're at, but just be aware of it, that's all. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Come on up from here very slowly. When you're in these longer holds, it's very, very important to come out slow, be respectful that you just went through a big event, whether you realize it or not. Go ahead and lay yourselves down onto your bellies all the way. And then opening up your feet out to the edges of the mat, placing your elbows directly under your shoulders, rolling the shoulders back and down, pressing the palms into the mat, moving into Sphinx pose, a lower back, mini back bend. So you can keep the head nice and neutral here. If it feels better to stretch through the back of the neck, feel free to drop the chin to the chest. And we're just settling in for about 10 deep breaths. Pace it out yourself. Maybe about 3 more breaths. Good, and then before you fully release out of this, we're just gonna do some little semicircle head rolls. So with the chin starting down towards the chest, just frame the collarbone, bringing the chin over to the right side, framing again, just kind of giving a little half circle coloring into that collarbone, one way and the other. And then bringing your hands together, placing one hand on top of the other, bringing your legs back together, just rest your forehead right down on the top of your hands. So I'm going to ask you right now in this position, I'm going to invite you, I won't ask you to, you don't have to do anything ever for anybody except yourself. Side note, but when you place the forehead down on something, that's our intuitive center. That's our sixth chakra center. And by placing it on top of the hands, we could just kind of symbolically think that we are sending energy from our hands up into that area, asking for that area to open up a little bit more. And then when you send in the breath, it's even more powerful. We open that intuitive center where we know what we know. We don't question it, we just know. You can hear a voice, you can just get a knowing. And I want you just to keep breathing and visualizing a beautiful circle right in that center space, a little above the middle of the eyebrows. And just breathe in and allow that area to open. And ask yourself for the trust in your intuition, not second guessing, trusting that that information is coming to you from somewhere. Give yourself about 2 more sixth chakra, intuitive center opening breaths. That was a big sentence. And release out of it, you guys. Gently start to lift up your head a little bit. So I don't know if you guys are having any insightful things happening along with this painful time we're in. I know that I am having some crazy coincidental things. Last night, I swear, out of nowhere, remote control was not near me. My TV went on at midnight, and actually it was 12:12 because the TV had nothing on the screen except for it said 12:12. So I don't know. It kind of freaked me out, but not really. Okay, go ahead and take your left leg out to the side. All right, and then just give yourself a few moments here, just resting your head back on your hands. You can turn your head one way or the other. Just feeling an opening in that left inner thigh, left groin area. And we're going to turn this into a nice long held twist. So when you're ready, you're taking your right hand and you're weaving it underneath the body with the palm up. So take a moment, weaving that right hand underneath, and then lifting the left arm all the way up. We're going to start to release ourselves onto our backs. If you need to shimmy over onto your mat a little bit more, that's fine. This is a very, very deep spinal twist. If it's too much for you and you choose to place something for support underneath that left knee, just take anything that you want so that your knee has somewhere to rest. And then the other aspect of this pose is that maybe that left hand is just dangling midair, and that's okay as long as it's okay with you, to allow that left pectoral muscle and that left shoulder to just open up. I want you guys to really, really relax here, where you place your head or turn your neck and your head is up to you. If you want to take it to the fullest extreme and expression of this pose, you would gaze over to the left. Close your eyes. You'll be here for about 2 more minutes. A little bit over a minute. Again, always checking out how you're feeling in your body. Allowing yourself moments of self-inquiry. How am I feeling physically? If there's anything speaking to you physically, can I soften the experience through the breath? Can I play with the temperature and the color of the breath? Do I notice a release that happens when I smooth my breath and willingly send my breath to that area? Little side note is you can try this on in other aspects of your life. When there's tension happening, send in the breath. What am I thinking about? Self-inquiry into the mind. Just notice becoming the third-party witness. Very, very powerful place to come from. You are not your thoughts. You're not your body. You're observing, you're the observer. You have about 20 seconds left. Feel free to let out a sigh whenever you need. And gently go ahead and bring that left arm first over to the right. Good. And then lifting up a little bit, you're gonna find your way back to your bellies. Again, placing the palms together with the forehead down, and this time bending your knees and flexing your feet. Make sure there's some separation between your knees and just kind of windshield wiper back and forth. And then release the legs down. Good, now to see. Okay, so now we're taking the right knee out to the side. Taking a few moments here to allow the opening of that left hip, left groin area. Right, I'm sorry, right. And then when we're ready, slowly weaving the left arm underneath and then opening the right arm up and finding the deep twist on the right hand side. So remember that you can grab for any supplies that you need, placing it underneath that right knee. See if you can notice which side of your body is more maybe, I guess we can say cooperative than the other. I know for me, this side is much more open. My right hand makes it down to the ground. The other side, there was a lot of space between my left elbow and my left shoulder and the floor. Just allow yourself to appreciate what you're feeling in your bodies, right? We're very, very blessed and lucky, you guys. So maybe while you're here for this minute and a half or so, this is just an offering again, as everything is. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself or that you feel really grateful that you learned about yourself during this process? Maybe it's how adaptable you are. Maybe it's that you can paint your own nails. What are you learning about yourself when we're kind of stripped raw? We don't have the ability to go out and perform for the world, right? We're just here. We're real. This is it. This is it. We are real. Who are you? 30 more seconds. Nice deep breath. Peaceful in your bodies. Peaceful in your minds. Knowing how beautiful and strong you are, even if you're feeling vulnerable these days. Vulnerability does not equate to weakness. I think it equates to authenticity, being real. That's strong. All right, you guys, go ahead
And this time, just for a moment, take the arms to meet each other, and then we're gonna just bring ourselves right down to our backs. So at this time, if you haven't gotten your supplies like kind of nearby you, I want you to make sure that they're within reach. And the first thing that we're gonna do, if you have a bolster, great. You can either use a block, your blanket. I'm gonna use my blanket for a demonstration today. I'm rolling up my blanket. I'm going to elevate my hips a little bit in a supported bridge pose. You're gonna love me for this one. If you have a block, sometimes that's even better, okay? So laying yourself down, knees bent, feet firmly planted, lifting up your hips, placing some support right at the sacrum area, and then palms up. At first, just keeping the knees bent and allowing yourself to feel the release in the lower back. Good. And then if and when you're ready, straighten your legs down in front of you with the hips still elevated, allowing the spread in the front of the hips. So when we release any tension in this area, it weaves around to the back and releases the lower back as well. Just opening and breathing. If that doesn't feel good to you with the legs straightened, feel free to bend the knees again. And also, you can always tuck the knees into the chest, support yourself this way. So whatever is your pleasure. Eyes closed. Breath smooth. Noticing if you've allowed yourself to release any of the built up tension in the body or the mind. Always loving yourself up with some truthful compliments to you, right? We have to depend on ourselves, you guys. We have everything we need to be complete within ourselves. It's kind of nice to not have to perform these days, isn't it? A little bit. I know it is for me. Go ahead and bring both knees in towards the chest and just allow yourself to rock side to side gently. And then extend both legs up towards the sky and put a really, really heel to the ceiling type of flex in the feet. Engage your core a little bit here. And gently send the legs down towards the ground. Engage the core muscles. Maybe stop a little bit and all the way down. Okay, good. Bend your knees. Remove whatever you have underneath. Just push it off to the side and lower your hips down. Drawing the knees back into the chest again. Rocking side to side. And opening up for, let me just see what time it is. Oh, we're running out of time, you guys. So we're going to do a happy baby. Okay. So holding the outside edge of the feet. I like to do a half happy baby sometime if we have time, but for today's purposes, we're going to do this 2-minute hold right here, unless you choose to do a minute on each side. Go ahead and find your happy baby. Close your eyes. 2 minutes. So notice if you feel resistance that you're creating. Okay, so this is really subtle a lot of times, you guys, because we're like, no, I'm in it. I'm completely in it. But then you can see if you can soften even a little bit more.
And that goes for everything. That goes for everything. Not in a beating up sort of way, but how much are you allowing yourself to soften? Feeling a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. You want to take it a little further or add something to it. You can wrap your hands around the top of the feet and pull the toes back a little bit, stretching the feet as well. You have 1 minute left. Okay. So we're gonna just stay where you're at. Breathe into it. I'm just gonna talk a little bit here. I'm going to give you all my email address, and I hope to be really good about checking in. And if there's anything that you want to say about today's class, or you just want some tips on how I'm dealing with some of the stress when it comes up for me, and believe me, I am completely like you are. I'm up and I'm down. My email address is vbl308@gmail.com. Okay. And also, just thoughts about what you want for next week or anything that you want. You're going to stay here for about 10 more seconds, and then we're going to work our way into Shavasana. Okay, I want you to start to release out of your happy baby. Ask yourself if there's anything else you need to do movement-wise to complete today's practice. I'm going to attempt to put some music on for you for Shavasana. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear it. And then I'm going to step away and allow you to stay in your Shavasana as long as you want. And until we meet again, you guys. Oh, I always cry at this part. Sending you so much love, really. And I feel it from you too. Okay, so close your eyes. Allow your legs to just separate a little bit. And namaste, you guys.
Namaste.